Welcome to the Growing Food is Easy Challenge, week 7. Today on Wild Florida, we're going to talk about when it comes to growing food, forget your zone and focus on climate. Hi, I'm Jacqueline, the Wild Floridian, and welcome back to week 7 of the Growing Food is Easy Challenge. If this is your first time joining us, we're all joining together so that we can grow more pounds of food so that we can save money, go local, or save the world one piece of food at a time. If you're interested in joining the journey from the beginning, go ahead and click on this card right here, or you can wait till the end and click on the playlist and go along for the entire journey. We go over a new tip every week along with checking in on my progress and your progress. Let's talk climate. If climate's what you expect, weather's what you get. When we talk about climate, we're typically looking at 30-year averages of multiple factors like weather, precipitation, atmospheric pressure, wind, and humidity. How could I forget humidity? It's like one of the things people talk the most about with Florida. Climate is also affected by a couple different factors, such as your latitude, your altitude, closeness to waters and bodies, which we have a lot of here in Florida, and the general terrain. Florida, but flat, 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 flat. So most beginner gardeners will focus on gardening zones, right? It's always touted as one of the most important things to learn is what is your zone? What we learned last week is that growing zones only take into account one factor, and that is the coldest temperature a place gets in the year, which means Phoenix, Arizona is the same as Orlando, Florida. That doesn't seem right. And that's why we talk about focusing on climate instead of your growing zone. You can take that information and combine them together to get the best picture for your area, but climate tells you a lot more. So what's Florida's climate? Well, Florida breaks up into two general climates. One is humid subtropical continental in the north to the central portion of the state, and then from the center south, we're really looking at tropical savannas. So what does that climate mean? It generally means we have hot, wet, humid summers, and it means we have drier but still warm winters. So why is it helpful to understand climate? Well, we can look for other places in the world that have similar climates and then go and use plants from those areas to grow our food. So when we look around the world, some of the areas that are very common to ours is the eastern portions of Central and northern parts of South America, and of course Southeast Asia. And speaking of Southeast Asia, speaking of plants that are easy to grow, bananas is going to be the next plant that we're going to focus on for the Growing Food is Easy series. So make sure you don't miss that by liking, go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications so you don't miss that, plus other plants that we'll recommend that are easy for you to grow here in the state of Florida. So now that we know subtropical and tropical plants are what are going to work best for the state of Florida, go ahead and put some comments below on what your favorite subtropical or tropical plant is to grow to get your pounds of food. So where am I at on my Growing Food is Easy challenge journey? Well, this past week, we went and bought a ton of seeds. Between the kiddo and I, we probably bought about 13 different types of plants, from tomatoes and peppers to even sunflowers. And some of them are totally out of this season or not the right time for our growing zone. But you know what? Hey, if it keeps him interested and it keeps me motivated, why not spend the extra $1.50? But also thing I did is I tore up more of my grass and put more plants in the front yard because I'm all about those pounds. I'm not really caring about the look. Actually, my husband right now says very kindly, I call our front yard a mess, but he's saying we're in transition, which is really supportive and nice thing to say. Checking in with you guys. So while I wait for my seeds, I continue to think about things that I need to do while I wait, and Eat Your Forking Vegetables, who subscribe, hey there, she recommends cooking while you wait. And what she does is she makes plant-based recipes, and she has her own channel. Go ahead, check it out. And her first video was on a sweet potato Buddha bowl, which my husband definitely made, and we used some of those sweet potatoes from our yard, and it was really good. So if you're interested in checking out some plant-based recipes, go ahead and check out Eat Your Forking Vegetables, and thank you for the recommendation. So as we're continuing this journey, the next thing we're going to focus on, we've talked about zones, we've talked about climate. Next thing that's all about the success of our plants is our soil. So that'll be next week's topic. Make sure you don't miss it. And hey, if you're in for the journey or just along for the ride, go ahead and let people know growing food is easy. Bye.